Okay, so we have two companies, one's called Cap and one's called Now. Take a wild guess which one capitalizes and which one expenses now. Okay, so Cap is the one that's capitalizing, Now is the one that is expensing. So they start with $1,000 cash. So essentially that is the equity. So the initial balance sheet is cash is equal to 1,000 and equity is equal to 1,000. That's the simplest balance sheet you'll ever see. Okay, so that's your starting point. Then in year one there is revenue of 1,500. Equipment purchased at the beginning of year one worth 900. Other expenses for the year 500. And the company that capitalizes depreciates straight line over 3 years. Tax rate is 30%. Now we are going to look at the financial statement impact of both these companies, where one company is capitalizing and the other company is expensing. Nothing too difficult here. It's just that the conclusions will stick if you've seen an example. So question one is, which company reports higher net income over the 3 years? So let's just go through this exercise. Okay, on the left we have the capitalizing firm. On the right we have the expensing firm. So we can look at this. I won't spend too much time because I think it's obvious. Is there any difference in revenues for the two firms? Obviously not. Is there any difference in cash expenses? So there is a difference in the sense that if the company that capitalizes, they just show the regular cash expense of 500 and they show a depreciation expense of 300. Okay, this is we are looking at the income statement here. What about the expensing firm? Why is this cash expense 1,400 in the first year? Because the entire asset is shown as a expense. In the remaining years we just have 500 and 500. So what is the income before tax in year one for the two firms? Okay, so what's the income before tax over here? So the revenue is 1,500 and the cash expense and depreciation is 800. So the income before tax is 700 over here. What about over here? Over here it is only 100. And then you look at your 30% tax. So what you will arrive at is in year one, the net income is 490 over here. And what is it over here? So here it is only 70. So an obvious conclusion, but a capitalizing firm in the year that the asset is purchased will report a higher net income relative to the expensing firm. What about in subsequent years? In subsequent years, the capitalizing firm will report lower net income. Why? Because of the higher depreciation or the depreciation. The other firm will not have any depreciation, so the net income as well as the earnings before tax will be higher. What about operating profit, EBIT? Can we say the same about EBIT? Yeah, so same thing, because EBIT is earnings before interest and taxes. So that effectively in this example is like the income before tax. So EBIT. What about EBITDA?
That will be same.
Yeah, that will be the same. So the operating and EBITDA is a rough measure of operating cash flow, which should be the same. So just keep in mind, a lot of people get confused by EBIT. EBIT will be just like your income before tax. There is no interest over here. Okay, so this is an important distinction in the curriculum. You can look at the exact numbers, but this is fairly obvious. Okay. Another important point, what happens to cash flow from operations? Okay, so for the capitalizing firm, that expense of 900, where does that hit? Yeah, so if you are capitalizing, that means you are treating that as machine as an investment. So that will make your CFI or cash used in investing further down. Okay, so the CFI for the capitalizing company will be lower relative to the CFI of the expensing. What about the CFO? Okay, CFO of the capitalizing firm will be higher because all that 900 is going towards reducing the CFO of the expensing. So a company, and this, since the curriculum, the CFA people try to connect many different things, a company that wants to manage its financial reports and it wants to show high CFO. Okay, so if it wants to show high, and I hope you know why companies like to show high CFO, because that's what analysts are most interested in. So a company that wants to show high CFO, given a choice between putting the money that you spend on the machine, putting it either in investment or operations, where would they rather put it? They would put it rather in investment so that the CFO appears higher. But what they're really supposed to do is figure out what the accounting rules dictate and do that. Okay. Another general point, in terms of the earnings over the 3 years. Okay, so what happens there? So the earnings over the 3 years is the same. So if you ask an accountant, he will say that it effectively is the same. But if you ask a finance person, what would he prefer? A finance person would obviously prefer more cash now. Okay, now again, in this particular example, in year 1, where is the cash flow higher? For company, the capitalizing company or the expensive company? Why? So let me just, Fauzan, why is it higher for the capitalizing company? The cash, why is the cash higher? Tax is the key. You see, depreciation itself is and this is the critical item, the depreciation itself is just a accounting number, but what is the benefit of this depreciation? What does that do? That gives you a tax benefit. Okay, so another important point here. So in year 1, if you look at the numbers, so in general depreciation gives you a tax shield. But what is happening over here? In year 1, who is paying more taxes? The capitalizing firm is going to pay more taxes. So the capitalizing firm will have less cash flow. Is that obvious? Okay, so is tax a real cash flow? Is depreciation a real cash flow? No. Okay, so who is paying? So other than taxes, all other cash flows are the same for capitalizing firm and expensing firm. Okay, the capitalizing firm will pay more taxes because it has a higher income before tax. Since they have a higher income before tax, they will pay a higher tax. Since they are paying a higher tax, their cash flow will be lower. Okay, so that's a critical point. The remaining stuff on this just builds on that. Okay, what I want you to do in the curriculum on this example, just follow the numbers. The point is that what I just said is for year 1. Okay, what about the impact on profitability ratios? Okay, let's just look at, say, return on equity and net profit margin. Okay, why is this return on equity? On the left again we have the capitalizing firm and on the right we have the expensing firm. What's return on equity? What's the formula? Net income over equity. Depending on the book you are reading, it can either be average equity or year end or beginning year equity. So I think here we take the average equity. So notice that the ROE in year 1 is more for the capitalizing firm. Why is this? So because the net income is much higher. Okay, but in subsequent years, then it is higher for the expensing firm because the depreciation cost is not shown in year 2 and 3 for the expensing firm. Okay, and the same you will notice for net profit margin. Net profit margin for the capitalizing firm is 33% throughout. What's the net profit margin? Net income over revenue. So the net income is pretty stable because the cost has been spread out. Here we have net income that is very low, net profit margin that's very low and then jumps up. Okay, now in which firm do we have smoother earnings? In the firm that capitalizes. Okay, this actually we've already answered. Why does Now, which is the expensing firm, report change in cash of 70 while Cap reports change in cash? So notice that for Now, the change in cash for Now, the cash went up by 70, whereas for the capitalizing firm the cash went down by 110. What is this? What must the 180 be? 180 is the extra taxes that were paid by which firm? By the capitalizing firm.